Hi, Lovies. It is the creator of Bored with Miss Reynolds, Better Off Reading Every Day. And I have a good one for you. This one is called The Velveteen Rabbit. And this is based on the book by Marguerite Williams, illustrated by Don Daly. Boys and girls, I was at the bank the other day, and my teller said to me, "Have you read The Velveteen Rabbit yet? My granddaughter loves that book." And that's when it hit me. It's time. So today is the day, and this is dedicated to all my Velveteen Rabbit fans out there. Here's the entire cover. There once was a Velveteen Rabbit, and he was really splendid. His coat was spotted brown and white. He had real thread whiskers, and his ears were lined with pink sateen. He was given to the boy for Christmas, but was soon forgotten. For a long time, he lived in the toy cupboard or on the nursery floor, and no one thought very much of him. The only one who was kind to him at all was the Skin Horse. The Skin Horse had lived longer in the nursery than any of the others, and he was very old and wise. "What is real?" asked the Velveteen Rabbit to the Skin Horse one day. "It's a thing that happens to you," the Skin Horse said, "when a child loves you for a long, long time." One evening, when the boy was going to bed, he couldn't find the China dog that always slept with him. "Here," Nana said, "take your old rabbit." And she put the Velveteen Rabbit into the boy's arms. That night, and for many nights after, the Velveteen Rabbit slept in the boy's bed. When the boy dropped off to sleep, the Velveteen Rabbit would snuggle in his arms all night. Spring came, and they had long days in the garden. For wherever the boy went, the Velveteen Rabbit went too. Once, when the Velveteen Rabbit was left out on the lawn until long after dusk, Nana had to come and look for him. "Fancy all that fuss for a toy," she said. "You mustn't say that," the boy said. "He isn't a toy, he's real." One evening in the garden, the Velveteen Rabbit saw two strange beings. They were rabbits like him, but quite furry and brand new. "Why don't you get up and play with us?" one of them asked. "I don't feel like it," said the Velveteen Rabbit. "I don't believe you can," said the Fuzzy Rabbit. "He doesn't smell right. He isn't a rabbit at all. He isn't real." "I am real," said the Velveteen Rabbit. The boy said so, and he nearly began to cry. Weeks passed, and the Velveteen Rabbit grew very old and shabby. But the boy loved him just as much. And then one day, the boy became ill. It was a long, weary time for the boy. Was too ill to play, but the Velveteen Rabbit snuggled down patiently and looked forward to the time when the boy would be well again. Presently, the fever turned, and the boy got better. He was able to sit up in bed while the Velveteen Rabbit cuddled close at his side. And one sunny morning, the boy was allowed to sit outside. He was going to the seaside the next day on doctor's orders. Hooray, thought the Velveteen Rabbit. He wanted very much to see the big waves coming in and the tiny crabs and the sand castles. But the room was to be disinfected, and all the books and toys that the boy had played with in bed must be burned. How about this old rabbit? Nana asked. That, said the doctor. Why, it's a mass of scarlet fever germs. Burn it at once. And so the Velveteen Rabbit was put into a sack and carried out to the garden to be burned with the rubbish the next morning. The night the boy slept in a new bed. That night the boy slept in a new bed, and he had a new bunny to sleep with him. It was a splendid bunny, all white plush with real glass eyes. And while the boy was asleep, dreaming of the seaside, the Velveteen Rabbit felt very sad and lonely out in the garden. A tear trickled down his little shabby velvet nose and fell to the ground. And then a strange thing happened, for where the tear had fallen, a flower grew. And presently the blossom opened, and out of it stepped a fairy. I take care of all the playthings that children have loved, she said. When the children don't need them anymore, I turn them into real. Wasn't I real before? Said the Velveteen Rabbit. You were real to the boy, the fairy said, because he loved you. Now you shall be real to everyone else. And she flew with the Velveteen Rabbit into the wood, where the wild rabbits danced. She kissed him and put him down on the grass. Run and play, little rabbit. But the Velveteen Rabbit sat quite still. He didn't want other rabbits to see that he was made all in one piece. Just then, something tickled his nose, and before he thought what he was doing, he lifted his hind toe to scratch it. He found that he actually had hind legs. Instead of dingy Velveteen, he had brown fur. His ears twitched by themselves, and his whiskers were so long that they brushed the grass. He was a real rabbit at last, at home with the other rabbits. Autumn passed and winter, and in the spring, when the days grew warm, the boy went out to play in the wood. While he was playing, two rabbits crept out and peeped at him. One of them had strange markings around his nose and eyes. There was something familiar. The boy thought to himself, he looks just like my old bunny that was lost when I had scarlet fever. But he never knew that it really was his own bunny, come back to look at the child who first helped him to be real. And that is the end, boys and girls, of The Velveteen Rabbit, or How Toys Become Real. And I borrowed my friend's rabbit. Look at this sweetie, so soft and plush. I said, could I borrow your rabbit to read this book? And she said, yes, Miss Reynolds, you absolutely can. So this is going to be going back to a friend of mine, but I wanted to share it with you. Boys and girls, lovies, it is Bored with Miss Reynolds, better off reading every day. I don't own the rights to this book that I have read to you, but I love storytelling magic. And the magic of today's story is, you never know where love will be found. I've been going to the same bank for years. 4 years. And when I told my teller that I started reading books to children, she said, I would love to look at it. And she said she went and she checked it out, and she said her granddaughter liked it. And then she asked me, have I read The Velveteen Rabbit? And I said, no, I have not. And she said it's her granddaughter's favorite. So guess what? That's how this came to be. I am sharing this with one of my lovies, somebody that has seen me before, that maybe has read with me, and just all around loves to read. She said her granddaughter loves to read, and that's always music to Miss Reynolds' ears. I will see you again really, really soon. Velveteen Rabbit, storytelling magic at its finest. Boys and girls, when was the last time you got to really love up on a friend like this? Just love up. All real love. Try it. It makes you feel absolutely wonderful. Bye. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can I see your lovey? You can go get it. I'll wait. Ah, that looks like a good one. Looks very, very special and very, very loved. And in my next book, you're going to see my lovey. Bye.